Smoke weed every day.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Paranormal. 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 Paranormal.
Creep with me.
Paranormal.
Creep with me. Creep with me.
Paranormal.
Creep with me. Creep with me.
Paranormal.
Creep with me. Creep with me. Creep with me.
Welcome to
Paranormal Hunt.
Who the fuck is this?
Paranormal.
Who the fuck is this?
Paranormal Hood.
Who the fuck is this?
Paranormal hood.
If you're feeling lucky, duck, then press your luck.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
We have the paranormal voice of the hood.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Diggy and the hoodie.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
You're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio with the sound of DJ Ron Glenn. Paranormal Hood.
This is Paranormal Hood. Diggy and the hoodie. Ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Creep with me as I crawl through the hood.
Paranormal, baby. Is how we doing it, Paranormal Hood.
Paranormal Hunt.
Paranormal Hood.
Smoke weed every day.
Keeping it on lockdown. All world is in the building.
Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared of dying, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to ride, step into the buckle up. I'ma show you where it's at. We gon' burn a couple blunts, we gon' pop a couple caps. I ain't talking about 4 5s from the strap. Psilocybin driving, so we headed off the map. What you know about? Taste the color, seeing your sound with a crystalline. Turning nothing into something when we out the mind. Vandalize the lies with the truth. Ain't nobody wanna take shots to this prove. All we ever wanted was the answers. Looking for unique, but our vision keep us phantom. Phantom black man, ghost writing in a pentagram. I'm from the place where our thoughts meet the program. Not too many open to the power that they hold. Just know that when we shine, it's the reflection of your soul. Supreme beings moving, watch the galaxy unfold. We are not alone if you're not normal. Welcome home, yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared to die, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really trying to rise, step into the yeah, I gotta hold on to this feeling. I be seeing visions through the fold of the prism. Projecting all wishes, anything I want is given. Paranormal vision, you can call it supervision. Control the superstition, make them wonder how we do it. They seen us in the mud, now we all make music with the paranormal movement. They're stronger than we knew it. If Jesus was just a fraud, then hallelujah for Judas. Caesar is not the mob, so it just had to be Brutus. They hate when we on our job, cause persecution is useless. Proof that what we doing is more than just making music. You the truth, drop it off in the hood. Show 'em what's really good, the feeling is understood. We don't just what it means to get it by all means. Supreme beings moving, watch reality explode. We are not alone, if you're not normal, welcome home, yeah. Welcome to my hood. Where ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. If you're scared to die, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really try to rise, step into the portal.
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
Smoke weed every day.
From Boston out of space, we're going to take you all over the place. So sit back and enjoy the ride, because this is Paranormal Hood Live.
All right. You're going to learn today.
And you know this, man.
Just mad cause your ass is old. Hold up. Wait.
This is Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge, and you're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio. They are the paranormal voice of the hood.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
What's Hood Hoodies? Welcome to Thursday night. This is Paranormal Hood Live. And we are live and direct in the Wet Garden of Knowledge Studios. I'm your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King.
Y'all thought it was crazy when I built that little miniature box that I called the Ark, right? You know, because when I said the rain was going to come, it might float away. We was prepared. That's why we're still here, see? So get it right. But what's good, people? Good to see everybody. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. Genocide, the pole position. Julie Bean sliding in at number 2. BG's. At number 3, Out of Mind at number 4. We've also got, let's scroll down here. Lee Veltman, a belated happy birthday to Lee Veltman. And I also want to acknowledge that today is Buddy Greenberg's birthday. Most folks like Cool K been around forever know Buddy Greenberg. He just works, so it doesn't permit him to be here on Thursdays anymore. But big part of the show. If it wasn't, we probably wouldn't be a Paranormal Hood the way we started out. So shout out to Buddy Greenberg and a happy birthday to you, sir. Let's keep scrolling. Let's see. Cool K, good to see you. I'm keep going down. I know there's more. Did I say B? I said BG's already. Now I'm slipping. What's up, Spudwife? Robin Eagle song. You just mad because your ass is old. Woo! What's up, V? Raphael Marquette. You here early, bro. You got here early. What's good, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. One day we're going to smoke together. One day. So what's good, everybody? Hope everybody had a good week. Glad to be back. We've got some very fun stuff to talk about tonight. It's going to be totally fucking awesome. Okay, so everybody get ready. Strap in, because you know how it goes. I have one story tonight that I'm going to do before we get started, because it's a beautiful story. And anybody's been here long enough to relate to this particular kind of story. And I want to thank Deb Out of Mind for sending it to me. She actually helped. Oh, woohoo! What you got going on? You got a concert? You about to do a show?
Sound on Instagram.
All right, give me 1 second to pull this up. We're going to do this, and then we're going to jump right into it because we are late tonight. You know, as Robin would call it, CPT is what we're running on. You know, Robin has a great definition of CPT. I've played it before. I'm not going to play it right now, but it's all. Or should I play it right now? Why the fuck not? Give me 1 second. I don't even know if I can play it. Hold on. Because we're definitely running on CPT tonight. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to play it because it's going to take me a minute to do this. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Wah. Hey, Robin. Thanks for this beautiful soundbite. You've got great sound bites on here, Robin.
Oh, but
You know that one, Robin? I gotta scroll down the shit to find shit. Oh, that's not it. Here we go. Robin Eagle Song's greatest hits right here on Paranormal Hood Live. You gonna play?
all right. It's wait. Yo, Bizzos, why the fuck did you fire my ass, boss? Nigga, it's because you always show up here on CPT. You supposed to start at 9 and never see your ass till 9:30.
So do you know what color sequence? That's all she read.
Yes, I read it. That's the
Yeah, we
top
know.
definition.
Thank you, Robin, because you're right. Except it wasn't 9 to 9:30, it was 8. We started at 8:30 tonight. So you're absolutely correct about the CPT. There you go. Nothing but love for you, Robin. All right, let's get into the one story I have tonight. Again, thank you, Deb, out of mind. Go make sure you go check out her website. She's got some great stuff on there. Deb, put up a link to your website in there. Please feel free to do that. Folks, check it out. People still do use websites, okay? And there's some great information from both sides on there, okay? All right. Let's scroll down. Absolute undeniable proof that ancient aliens did once exist on Mars. UFO sighting news. Story goes, I found an alien face carved into stone on the surface of Mars. The face is in a Mars photo, is on the far right center of the picture. The face is looking upwards and to the right. It is only one eye visible from the side, but its side profile tells us a lot. The side cheekbones are thicker and wider than humans. The upper front cranium comes out further than ours. Excuse me. The eyes, nose, mouth, lips, and chin are all similar in location on the face as ours are. As our own, excuse me. However, this alien face looks far from being human. The face may be a marker, I don't know what the fuck you try to put it, similar to a tombstone to mark. So it's supposed to say marker. This dude cannot fucking write for shit. He's worse than me. The face may be a marker similar to a tombstone to mark the burial site of a person who died. The face is in a remarkably good condition and is about 1 meter across from the chin to the top of the head. The face looks to be thousands of years old. Now, people will often say it's the imagination playing tricks on you. That is not what it appears to be. Those people are inexperienced at the area and have zero experience in psychology, unlike myself, holding a master's degree, which he wrote master's decree, in counseling education. So I am 100% correct. This is an alien face made thousands of years ago on Mars. Absolute undeniable proof that ancient aliens did once exist on Mars. From who can guess? Anyone? Anyone for 1,000 points right now? Can you guess who actually wrote this post about Mars? Let's see who's been paying attention in class. You can't cheat, Deb?
James Dean?
What's up, Mario? No, it wasn't Jimmy Dean. It wasn't Alex Jones. It wasn't Joe Rogan. I can't even say that dude's name without laughing right now. Yeah, I took everything. A Z-Pack, a Vecnamycin, some anal lube. I drank some Pepsi. I took some chewables, vitamins, Flintstones. Wow. Well, all right. The thing is maybe going slow. No, come on, Lee. You haven't been around here long enough to know there's the Moz post. Come on, anybody? Can anybody redeem us? Anyone? Come on. Should be simple at this point. Yeah, he's fucking shitting out the lining of his stomach right now, probably.
Yeah, I got extreme diarrhea right now, but I feel great. I feel great. I don't feel the COVID. Definitely not feeling the COVID, but side effects of all these medications that I have no idea what's in it. Definitely feeling that.
Yeah, he took prednisone. You know what's in that? It's a steroid.
Well, it's a steroid and shit, but does he know the exact? You know what I mean? Like all these people, I don't know what's in it and stuff. Please tell me the ingredients of horse dewormer.
Well, I've had prednisone for asthma before.
You know, and then yeah, that's it. It's brilliant, but it's.
Well, okay, with Scott C. Waring, not Steve, Scott C. Waring, folks. All right. Just had to do that one story because his name comes up every now and then. When it comes to Moz, he claims to be an expert. Now he went to school. He can't even spell, but he has got a PhD or whatever. Yeah. Hey, Scott. I'd love to get him on live with us one day just to look at each one of these photos. Let me do you a solid real quick. I want you to actually see the fucking photo. That's supposed to be the head. It looks more like it looks more like Ray.
Yeah, dude, it looks more like a fucking tortoise.
Exactly. It looks more like
if
Ray.
You got to think it's anything besides the rock that it is, I'd be like, oh, that looks like looks like a tortoise or a turtle fucking, shell, because you can't see the arms and stuff, maybe.
Where do you see 1,000-year-old
could be an ancient tortoise shell or a turtle shell or something like that. Either that or it's hiding inside the shell. But I don't see a face at all anywhere in that. I see a rock or possibly, like I said, maybe an ancient turtle shell.
It's probably Gamera. Folks, you heard it first. Gamera is on Mars. Yeah, this ancient face looks like, okay. It looks like a shield or something or whatever. It's just a fucking rock. But okay. Whatever, Scotty. All right, so a Smoke King rolls his blunt. I'll set up a little bit of this stuff. The reason the show is titled, Grifting, It's a Family Affair, is because as we've seen recently, we actually going to be sharing some stuff tonight that maybe some people haven't seen as of yet. But people's family members get into this stuff.
I haven't even seen it. I'm gonna watch it live right now here with you guys.
I had to watch it because I wanted to be able to, because I actually met this person, had a long conversation with her at Portal to Ascension 2018. You can tell me when to
skip through it for a little bit because we're not watching the whole fucking thing. But so we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna react live here for the first time.
We all can laugh, because it's all of a sudden. Like Tracy Dolan, the wives and everything become a part of it. And from a business standpoint, I guess it would make sense to have maybe, your significant other running your business affairs. That's one thing to see someone like, what's his name? Fucking Fade to Black. Jimmy Church's wife, Rita, who works his cables, works his booths and stuff like that and handles his merch and all that type of crazy shit. That kind of makes sense. But you don't see her stepping on stage like, yeah, I'm an experiencer. I've met ghosts or aliens or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I don't really remember too much about Tracy Dolan. Yeah, well, I know she was into some other shit, but same thing with Elizabeth Wilcox. All of a sudden, she's a speaker. She becomes part of the program. And the latest person to step into the arena is none other than Phoenix, Stacey Hood. That's right, folks. At his last little conference there, she actually spoke. And
that's because he couldn't get anybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to be there.
Put together some bullshit story to get on stage.
And she was one of the speakers, and they actually put the video up on YouTube, on his fucking YouTube channel, and it is hilarious. And I'm going to preface it by saying one of the reasons it's so hilarious is having like a, couple-hour conversation with this woman at a conference and sitting down and talking to her. At no point, nothing about what I spoke about myself and why I was there, and her speaking about what she would do, did she say anything about any of this shit. All she was talking about was Corey and what his blah 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 and all this stuff and why he's doing what he's doing. I'm sitting there with my fucking eyes crossed, like yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, great, good to hear it. But at no point did she say anything about I was an experience for myself. Nothing. She brings up nothing in that. And that's not saying that she would sit there and spill the beans to me. But this dude has been in this business for a minute, and she basically in the video here she says, and I think it was on the 3rd anniversary, is where she'll begin her fucking whole journey in this. So you mean to tell me it took you almost 20-something years to finally tell a story in the middle of all this, and you're an experiencer, and your husband's all this and everything, and now all of a sudden
she's always up in the videos and shit.
She's always with him. She's always there. She was his number one cheerleader. So is it out of necessity now to put another person into the grift to help more income, because you know their income is going down because they're not making the circuit anymore? They're trying to put together their own events, and as we've seen, that event was shit, and you know it was what it was. But it's not a Contact in the Desert. It's not a Conscious Life Expo. It's not Portal to Ascension. It's not any of the bigger conferences that are actually drawing people and making it a conference worth going to. So is this just another attempt to create another revenue stream? Just listening to her speak, and you'll hear it for yourself. You can make your own determinations and judgments. It's just,
oh boy,
yeah, it's hilarious. It's a bunch of horse shit, and it's just funny that after all these years now, she's part of this whole thing, and she's just sitting there telling her little story and her little rehearsed story, and the eyes are there and everything, and they're leading her on. Of course, they have their script, and it's going to be fun. You just have to wait a minute until he's done, and you'll get to hear it. But if you haven't heard it, please sit back and get ready to have some fun for your latest grifter. It's become a family affair, folks. That's right. The goods are all in. When is enough enough? Make sure you guys can hear it.
We'll stop playing their shit. Fucking headphones. We'll stop playing.
You don't have even regular headphones? You can just plug them into the thing. Don't sell the extensions.
No, we're buying a wireless and shit there.
Well, you listen to it. I've already heard it. I just want to
hold up. I got to do something here in a second. Just fucking entertain the crowd.
Hi, crowd. We're going to entertain you because this is not going to be entertaining. Just imagine spending hundreds of dollars.
This is going to be hilarious.
Oh, it's comedy. It's pure comedy. That's what it's great for. It just makes for great laughter because none of it makes any fucking sense. And it doesn't add up. And again, she's interjecting this story now after all these years and trying to put it together to his and highlight our mimics, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, you're grasping at straws even worse than him. And were you always like this? Like, you know, you've been with this man forever. At what point did he decide that this is what he wanted to do with his life? And you were like, fuck it, go for it. Were you apprehensive at first until you went to that first conference and you got to fly for free and maybe they flew you first class? And they said, hey, how you doing? It's great to meet you. You know, we've got your hotel room ready and stuff like that. We're all going to have
She's
lunch
missing
together.
That guy money, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. It changes, man. I'm telling you, that shit is powerful. You could tell by the way that she spoke to me about him, and she was just so, it was like a cheerleader. It was like listening to a fucking 18-year-old talk about the college quarterback. Oh my God, did you see like Tommy on Saturday? And he like threw like 5 touchdowns and he ran for like 300 yards and like nobody could stop him. He was like the best football player ever. Everything was great and stuff like that. That was literally what she sounded like. She was all in because it's a cool life. Come on, anybody imagine having a legitimate job that says, hey, you get to travel. We're going to pay for your travel. We're going to pay for all your food. We're going to pay for everything you need. And while you're there, there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to be there for your autograph. And they want to hear you speak. And they want to rub elbows with you. And they may pay to have lunch with you. They may pay to do all this stuff with you. That's very empowering. Let's say if it was some legitimate shit, right? So who wouldn't want to be able to do that unless you're a person who doesn't like to travel? Someone who doesn't like to stay in hotels. I do. I love that shit. I've always loved it. It was one of the best times of my life being able to do that shit on tour, work, and everything. Just the traveling I've done personally. So I get it. I get it. But at the same time, it's not for anything legit. That's what makes it a problem. Other than that, who cares? You know what I'm saying? If you were doing that and you were out there telling some real shit, who cares? When you see Neil deGrasse Tyson, like him or leave him and stuff like that, if that's something you're into and you pay to go to a conference to hear actual scientists get up there and stuff like that, I can dig it. Yeah, he should get paid. Hakeem, my boy, same thing. People who are legitimate people who are doing legitimate things and have great stuff to say, and that's worth it. But to spend your money to go see these motherfuckers, and I've done it, and I'll continue to do it. And not because of necessarily the speakers, some of the new speakers, I get to meet new people, and I get to see how the scope of all this shit is running. Check. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Good.
I think we can hear good enough. Ascension Summit 2021.
Look at all the excellent speakers.
Michael the Brow, solid. James
Carefree Crook.
Fair use.
Okay, well, welcome to the final segment of the evening.
It's kind of exciting. Stacey's never been on the stage before, right?
No. Welcome.
That's all right.
So I assume your life has kind of gotten crazier and crazier as Corey's story evolved. It's always been very fascinating.
Should be the little ones over there by where it's plugged
to see
in.
the people in Corey's life serving as a kind of evidence of how crazy his life
There you go.
has been and how much he's gone through in order to become able to do this role, interesting role.
I assume most everyone fucking here too. So
enough about Corey Good.
Me too.
But probably knows
It's the way it's
very little
recorded. It's
about
recorded like shit.
How long have you been married to her?
28 years.
28 years.
Long time.
Well, this is your first time on stage, correct? So,
Yeah.
how about we can kind of dive into just a little bit about your background, so then we can just see where. So, I mean, how did you grow up? What was your lifestyle like?
So I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and in a very conservative household. My mother's dad, so my grandfather, was a preacher, and my dad's from Pennsylvania. He grew up
talk to Jesus first.
He's more of a naturalist, if you will. My mother was a dietitian, and then he is like a computer programmer. So I was raised by them in Kansas City in a very stable Ward and June Cleaver household, which I'm very grateful for because it gave me the stability that I needed later on that I had no idea I would need.
You definitely.
So I belonged to the Nazarene church at the time. They had some.
You're definitely not stable. You're with fucking this fuckhead.
You're an idiot.
And you're on stage right now about to fucking tell a fucking bullshit story. There's nothing stable about your life. Nothing stable. You gotta go on stage and fucking tell people some bullshit story about that you and your husband made up on your way here, drive here from your fucking cabin up there, you don't get skeeted on by the sun. There's nothing stable about that, okay? You're going down to a river and getting buckets, 5-gallon buckets of fucking water for you and your family. You're not stable, okay?
She's driving the car. He's in there putting his carefree curl spraying with his afro pick. Now listen, bitch. You better get that motherfucking story right. Okay? You gotta work this fucking shit and go get my money. Bitch better have my money. That's y'all's man.
Great universities. So I was going to go to a Nazarene university. And I thought about different places. California looked pretty cool. But what drove me to go to the one in Oklahoma was that they were science-based. And like they had a pre-med program. They had a nursing program. And I was very, I wanted to go into the medical field. I was thinking physical therapy. And so I chose.
Wow,
that
she
place.
took a fucking huge turn there, huh?
I
It's
did
like
not
went
meet
way
Corey.
off the path. She's all talking like, yeah, they're into science, medical stuff, everything. I want to be a physical therapist. She didn't even say chiropractor, okay? Now she'll be a chiropractor. But she's like, I'm going to be a physical therapist.
She means a masseuse.
So I can't wait to hear where the turn was. And there he was with his soul glow hair. And I just knew it was love at first sight. I dropped out of college. We had a couple of kids, and here we are.
On that grift again.
We've been making up stories. I mean, he's been telling his story for years, so we just decided that I'd make up a story. I mean, I'd tell my story.
Like after 25 years, all of a sudden she has a story to tell.
Maybe she was shy. No, wait, no.
She ain't shy.
I've seen her. You know, I mean,
I've met her and talked to her.
We've all seen her videos before, so it's not because she's shy.
She
So I
ain't
don't
shy.
know. Maybe she got a contract with somebody now. I don't know. Money talks.
Maybe, yeah.
Money talks.
Until my sophomore year, because he did not go there my freshman year. And he just kind of popped out of nowhere. It's a Nazarene school, so we went to chapel, I believe it was twice a week. And it was always like right before lunch. So after chapel, this guy that I had met and was friends with from my freshman year, he said, "Hey, Stacy, I want to introduce you to, these guys." And so he introduced me to Corey's roommate, Jerry, and I shook Jerry's hand. "Nice to meet you." And then I shook Corey's hand. He said, "This is Corey." And I kind of didn't get it. I was like, okay. But the minute I shook his hand, something happened that
So glow his hair, those curls. I was just like, I could just feel the greasiness on his hands. And I was just like, ooh, yeah, that could be good.
He didn't have his Cappy curl back then.
that I had never experienced in my life, and I never have since. But the
Okay,
only
wait
way
a minute. She's never experienced that before in her life, and she's never experienced it again. So only the first time you touch him, you experience this? And
well, yeah, because,
you would think that she'd be like, I experience it all the time now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? But no, she only experienced that one time. She shook his hand. This is her shaking his hand. This is what she's like, I shook his hand. I shook his hand, and I felt it so. It touched me. I got a little moist.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little moist, and I never felt that way again after that. It's been dry since we got married. It's been dry and as rough as sandpaper. So I don't know what that was about. It was a spark, and then the spark went away.
Maybe that's why she was trying to, get some coffee for her cream.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's my first time and the only time ever.
It's magic.
You'd think, okay, you'd get again, they have children together. You'd think that the process of making the children would be way more magical than shaking his hand.
No, hello.
I shook his hand. Oh my goodness.
He's like a superhero, cartoon character, comic.
But he wasn't then.
Well, but here's the whole thing. See, it's probably because her intuition. Because she's probably telepathic.
She felt it. She felt it intuitively.
And she understood that he was special. She knew he was a little special.
Deep down inside, she had butterflies. Those butterflies said, "Oh, this is the one."
Bless her heart. And you know how I mean that out of mine. Spud wife, anybody in the South, you know which one when I'm saying it for her, which one I mean. Bless her little heart.
Oh boy! All right. So this is just good information though, because we're finding out Corey good back in the day.
Back in the day.
25 years ago, right? 28 years
28?
ago. What? 28 years ago? Whoa! He's in college.
Whoa!
Which is Nazarene College.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I can explain it. It was a soul recognition, because the minute I touched his hand, I asked him again, "What was your name?" And he said, "Corey." And then in my mind, I heard, "Corey, I'll never forget that name." And
what? Now I do that a lot when I meet somebody and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, how you doing? Oh, Jiggy, nice to meet you." And in my head, I'm like, "This is Jiggy. I'm not gonna forget his name now." You know what I mean? The big guy that looks like Bigfoot. Not gonna forget that name now. What does that have to do with anything?
And it's not like his name was like a pimp named Slipback or something. It's Corey. Like, I'll never forget the name Corey.
He
Like,
didn't
you
even
ever
say
remember Corey?
it's Corey Good, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely good."
I'll never
You know?
forget that name.
Never, you know what I mean?
That sounds
And
stalkerish.
he
though.
was like, "It's James Bond," and I was like, "Wow, I'll never forget that name."
Yeah, she's like, I'll never forget that name.
And in the back of my head, I was like, "Yeah, this fucker's mine."
Look at me, Corey. I'm the captain now. Yo, this is like the worst Harlequin romance you ever heard and shit. Like, and I was like, yeah, I'll never forget that name. It's not. It's Corey.
It was a soul connection because in the back of my
Corey.
mind,
Like, you
I've never
heard the
done
name
this before. I never was like, yeah, I'm gonna remember this person's name. Fuck them, you know what I mean? But it was like a soul connection. I asked him again, and I was like, Corey in the back of my head. Don't forget that name. Don't forget that face either.
And so then I was invited to go to lunch with them.
Oh.
I was like, sure. So I go, I have lunch. Now I had decided, since my grandmother was a preacher's wife, I knew what she had been through and what my grandfather had been through. And at this school that we went to that had the pre-med and the nursing, well, they also had a religion department. And so I made a rule for myself. I was not going to date any religion major because I did not want to be a preacher's wife. And
Would you rather be a
so
bullshitter wife? Okay.
I find out Corey's
What's
religion
the difference
psychology
here? Hold on.
major.
But
And
what's
I'm
the
like,
difference?
my heart
What's the
sank, and
difference?
I was just like,
Between the Messiah of the Bluavians or whatever the fuck,
the Middle Earth people,
the same thing
Outer
as
Earth
somebody
people.
that's out there fucking preaching and telling a bullshit story, or a preacher telling a bullshit story. Just the characters in the story change. You didn't want to be with that, but you were like, oh, let me be with him. Oh, yeah, look at this guy.
He's a different kind of
He's
liar.
different. I remembered his name deep in the back of my head. I was like, oh, Corey. Yeah.
The bullshit with this
I'm
one
going
is
to remember
strong.
that while I'm showering later. Oh, Corey.
like, man, I really like felt something with this guy, you know? I know. I was like, man. So after lunch, I'm
She's like the
walking
only
back to my-
person that's ever really felt something when she met a guy before. Nobody's ever felt that. You girls in the chat, you guys never felt anything like that with somebody before? I mean, is this something?
But it's different when you.
If this isn't something different, it's just like, you know what I mean? Is this like, I don't know, because I'm not a girl or anything, and I never met. But wait a minute, I met girls, and I was like, oh my god. I can't believe I just met this girl. Was that a soul connection? No, because I fucking hate that bitch now.
I'll never forget your name. Ever. Ever.
I went home that night and I said her name over and over again. Where the fuck did it go play? Here we go.
my dorm, and I'm having this conversation with myself, right? Because I made this rule up for myself. So I decided that he would be the exception.
So wait a minute, Corey was going to school to be a preacher?
And it was okay. So we ended up, long story short, we ended up.
So off of meeting him and shaking his hand and learning his name twice, because the first time she didn't get it. You know what I mean? It must not have been that magical, because she would have remembered it the first time. She had to ask him again, what was that name? Corey. It's Corey. Oh my god, that's so magical. I'm remembering right then and there, she went and she had a conversation like, oh my god, this guy told me his name twice. I think I'm going to have to break my rules, and I'm going to date somebody who possibly might be a preacher. Oh, you know, that's
the only boy that could ever reach her.
Of getting married. We actually did not start dating right away. I should actually tell this, because I think it's very important.
Now, why you gotta look up and over there like that and say,
Okay, well, let's hold on.
If it's very important, and it's
her first time doing this, man. She's not used to
no,
this.
no. Because you tell the stories of meeting the love of your life over and over again. You got that shit down. It don't matter if there's fucking cameras, you're on the stage, whatever. You're in the middle of a restaurant, and fucking he just said happy anniversary, and the whole restaurant's looking at you and stuff. And you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Let me tell you guys about this time. And then you don't go,
well, I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I'm watching her body language, like the movement of the leg bouncing and stuff. She's definitely not comfortable doing this. She's not used to being on stage talking to people, and she's trying to go over a script and all this shit that they've.
That's what I mean. She's going over a script, and she's got to stop there, and she's got to. That's why you can tell right there. It's not a real fucking memory. It's not a real thing that happened, or maybe it is, but what she's gonna say here is fucking very loosely based on something that might have happened to them before they started dating. This is so important. But what was my line now?
Shit, what did he say? What did he say?
That's what she said. She's like shaking her leg and she's like, what was my line? She's looking around for a clue. Oh yeah, and he was wearing a green sweater one time and we was out studying and stuff. This was before we even dated. Whatever she's gonna say, you know what I mean? She saw somebody with a green sweater, whatever the fuck it was. She's
to listen to that inner voice, like that for whatever reason, Corey, I'll never forget the name. I don't know. It was like
well, at this time, wouldn't that be Jesus?
Huh?
Wouldn't that be like God or Jesus or in a voice right now? Because you know what I mean? She's all in this religious school and shit. If Corey's going there to be a preacher, her grandpappy was a preacher and shit, and all this stuff. And so wouldn't she believe that in a voice it's God? Or Jesus or something telling her?
It was an angel. It was a spiritual being. Came sent from heaven.
And now this is where you know Corey's whole thing is bullshit because the dude's going to fucking college to be a fucking preacher right now. And at some point he's like, oh yeah, let me just change my fucking story up. Maybe I can make more money doing this than being a preacher.
a very distinct impression. But it didn't work out for us to be together. And I was really upset. I didn't understand because it was so apparent to me. And without going into that story, I had to let go. I had to release him. And I was trying to figure out how to do that. And I was walking through the Commons building, where our mailboxes and stuff are, and into my head dropped that phrase, like, when you love something, set it free. It'll come back if it's meant to be. That dropped into my head, and I went, okay, that makes sense. So I released it at that point. And then we ended up dating other people and learning some lessons. That's how I see it now. And then a year later, we ended up getting together. So,
I just went out and banged a bunch of dudes.
From Kansas City, and he
maybe,
is from
maybe
the
we
Dallas
could bang.
area. So,
and he wasn't banging anybody at the time.
I eventually moved to Dallas, and then we got married in '93.
You know that rule, right? You know the rule. He didn't bang nobody, and she was fucking everybody.
There's a rule?
When they say, the girls are like, yeah, we both went off, and he was dating people, and I was dating people. He wasn't doing nothing except waiting for your ass to come back, and you was fucking anything that you could.
Whoa.
Let's see. So from there, let's see. I'm trying to think how. Do you have any questions so far?
So when you guys were dating, was it?
Yeah, what? You see what she did there? Because this is the whole thing. You know
it's all set.
They're like, you guys lead her. Here's the questions. Just ask her these questions and just keep her on track. Don't you have any questions? Save me here. It's like, Elizabeth, say some shit. Like, you talk about bailing in the middle of it. You're talking about the love of your life and this experience that leads up to this magical thing where here you are 28 fucking years later, and you say to her in the middle of this, not being able to remember any of this, So don't you have like any questions?
At least she has like a little bit more personality than Corey when he talks, and he's like, "Hello,
Not
hello."
much.
That's not much, but it's a
She's
little
not
bit better.
She's not
I'll give her.
enthusiastic about any of this. She's not. She's very kind of like nonchalant about it. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And then when we met, I was, we were college, and
Maybe because
we
it's
ate.
28 years later, she's got that same problem Bob Lazar has and everything, where he's forgotten.
But you could forget, but you would still be enthusiastic. Like when people would tell, especially a couple that's been together for 28
forget a
years,
story
it's
that he
magical.
tells all the time, tell it
Still
over
be
and over again,
enthusiastic.
and it
She
never
has no
changes.
personality.
Oh yeah, no personality at all. But I'd give her a notch up above him.
Between the
But
two
you
of
could
them.
tell by why they're so great with each other. I could just picture their conversations with a little bit of.
Where's Jay Leidner when they need him?
Should we keep on listening to this here? Should we jump ahead right now?
Well, I just want to let's see what she
Let's see
disclosed.
what
Yeah,
this
what's
question is.
Experiences when you're early on in the relationship.
You know,
or
that's
did everything seem like vanilla and nice?
Okay, so the first paranormal thing that I ever experienced was, I believe, I've been trying to scour my brain, but I believe it was our 3rd anniversary. We went to San Antonio to the Riverwalk there. And the hotel that we stayed in was about, say, 18 floors tall. And then the pool was on like the 9th floor. So we went to the outdoor pool at night and we're in the hot tub. And there's another couple there.
Uh-oh.
And I look up and my eye catches like what seriously looks like fire.
My eye catches David Wilcock. Is this the story where they first meet the Wilcoxes? This is how it all went down.
Hot tub time machine.
And then there was Elizabeth.
Great white buffalo.
And then we decided all to go back to our room and have a drink.
Great white buffalo.
But they're way up there and they were like running into each other, flashing. Like I was trying to count them, but I couldn't.
These
Because
weren't real fireflies. They just appeared like it.
It looked like, but it was aircraft. And so I looked at it for a good at least 30 seconds before I said anything to make sure I was really seeing that. And I bumped Corey. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, whoa. And so then we the couple that was in the hot tub, Corey asks him and he said, oh, I'm a pilot. He said, those are not planes. And
oh yeah.
So that was my first, and I've never seen anything like it since, not so many of them.
Could we keep it rough?
There's so much shit about this. It just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
No sense. None of it. Oh.
Like you and your husband have been together for 28 years. So you said this was your 3rd year anniversary, which means 25 years ago, you both shared this experience. And it has not been shared in 25 years to even try to validate and back up even more of your story and make it stay together.
More of his story or anything at all and stuff. Well, that's the first time me and my wife had an experience. And we were there and we saw some UFOs. And this guy was a pilot and he's banging his wife in the hot tub. We swung with them later on. And, but anyway.
Only reason she saw it was because she was facing
But he was a pilot, and he
opposite.
says, yeah, that's definitely not planes. Wow, holy shit, that's all the proof I need. This guy's got to be telling the truth. You'd think they'd want to tell you that because that's right there. That's real deal evidence right there.
Right in the middle of the force.
A story about, I mean, they're probably fucking drunk.
She saw fireworks.
Their
That's what it was.
anniversary.
She was seeing fireworks because they were all banging in the hot tub.
It's something, you know what I mean? But, they probably had just come back from fucking going out to eat, having some drinks and stuff. Oh, let's go down to the pool in the hot tub. Yeah, look at that. She's laying there fucking all dizzy and shit, all fucking, oh, look at that. What is that? And the other people all fucked up like, yeah, that's definitely, I'm a pilot.
Oh, putty pat.
That guy, they have no clue if the guy's really a pilot. He's like, yeah, I'm a pilot. That's definitely not.
Hey, I was a fucking New England Patriot in Jamaica.
We could see his little hat and jacket over there next to the hot tub, so we knew he was telling us the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And that guy dressed as a fucking Klingon. He's really a Klingon too, damn it.
Estimate of it was like 100?
If I had to estimate, I would say, let's see. 30 to 50.
Were they all moving in different directions? Were they all
Mm-hmm.
random directions?
Oh yeah, they came in different
Very
directions.
random, very random. And then they would like cross over each other. It looked like
They were
would
crossing
have crashed
swords
into each other. And then
Now, now you would think this. I don't know where this is going because you've seen this, and I don't know if anybody else has seen this or whatever. You'd think that she'd be like, yeah, and then that's when Corey, we went back to the hotel room, and Corey's like, hey, listen, I'm a secret super spy.
No, he didn't figure that out until he had the eye surgery.
the two disappeared and became one, and then they would break off again. And that was happening constantly with all of these. So I couldn't count them. I was trying.
And how did you guys handle that night or moving forward?
Oh, we were like, yeah, I just was like, wow, that was really cool. I've seen a UFO now, you know?
So do you feel like you didn't have any blockage to becoming a believer?
Correct. Yeah, it made sense to me. I was like, yeah, it made sense to me.
Can I ask, in the way you grew up, was that something that people believed in, like extraterrestrials, or it was just something people don't talk about, but you believed in it forever?
I would say that, so I didn't really get into the UFO stuff. I mean, I wasn't really drawn to it, but I didn't discount it. I would attribute that to my father because he raised me with a very open mind. Even though we were in the Christian religion, he was always asking me and probing me into more critical thinking. So,
Very important.
yeah. So I've always had more of an open mind.
Your dad failed.
Do you feel like the paranormal experiences you've had kind of like
your mind is closed, you don't know how to think.
Frequency over the years, or they've been kind of sporadic?
Okay, so I saw that in San Antonio, and then that, that was like late 90s. And then, Corey and I were married, we had kids. Trying to think.
She should have wrote it down on her hand or something.
The number of experiences, the frequency of experiences, do you feel like that was kind of like uniquely strange experience that you've never had anything like that, you said? Have you seen any other UFOs past that?
The only thing I've seen is like a silver sphere in the sky that will kind of dart behind a cloud. And then I've seen that once and then disappear.
Wow.
It looks metallic, but it's real shiny. But I didn't really, Corey was always into UFOs and that was like his thing. And I was like, whatever. I was, raising children and, we were both in IT. So, very logical thinking. I was in a job that was very like, IT is pretty logical. So I would say the first, and this is what's hard. When the Mayans came, that was like 2013.
When the Mayans came.
And I don't necessarily remember seeing them, but I knew that morning something had happened. And I feel that I have a blockage. I really don't care to see them, honestly. I know they're there, and I'm cool with that. And I'm just not, I really, honestly, I really.
People seriously need to see psychiatrists and stuff, like psychotherapy and everything. Like, yeah. I know that these imaginary beings are there, but I'm blocking them. That's why I don't see them.
Yep.
No, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You and your husband are batshit crazy.
Yep.
Like, there's no other explanation for it. You're fucking crazy. Seek help. Because you're gonna have crazy kids now.
They're not crazy. They're playing a game. They are LARPing at its best.
No, they're fucking crazy.
Really don't. When the Mayans, when I saw them, I came out. It was in the middle of the night. I just felt something, and I come out to the living room, and apparently they were there. And I threw my hands up and I was like, I am not seeing this. This is not happening. And so they apparently helped me forget. And then I went back to bed. But in the morning, I woke up and I knew something weird had happened, but I had no idea what. So I come out and I'm like, Corey, what happened?
Well, babe, last night you
Did
got
something
probed.
happen last night?
What?
And he said, you remember? And I said, not exactly, but what happened? And then he started telling me, and I got flashes in my mind. So I think that honestly, my higher self is just like fine with not.
Maybe you should remind people, what exactly did he tell you? What exactly did he tell you at that time? What happened?
What now?
What was this
Oh,
his story?
yeah.
He told me something.
And, you know, around the living room.
So these were slightly shorter people?
Yeah. Tiny guys all running around, dressed different. And so, you know, I go out into the living room and I was like, no.
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Corey's into some fucking weird ass shit. Okay, that's all I gotta say. So
And
she
then,
was like,
so
yeah, I'm
I've
taking
seen
some pills
little
and going
different
back to sleep.
evidences along the way, you know.
So what about like when did you feel like you started to like awaken? Was this like a gradual process for you, or was it kind of like you're in it, you see Mayans, now you get on board with this whole concept? You know, how did
So
it go?
there was a moment in time to where I got help, I believe, divine help. I think that I just maybe wasn't getting it. And they're like, all right, you're going to get it the hard way.
The touch from
you know,
Corey
like-
wasn't enough, but he's so
like,
special.
Like is kind of my motto. But I always tend to do things the hard way, it seems. But that's how you gain experience in this life.
So what was that experience of getting it the hard way?
We had talked before this previous that you had read Joe Dispenza's book, right?
Right.
And that was like a big catalyst for you. Would we like
Yes,
want to go into
I'm
that for a
trying.
little
Yeah,
bit?
I'm trying to think of the year. I don't know if the Mayan thing happened before or after this, but Corey had bought a book. He felt led to buy this book by Joe Dispenza.
Oh,
called
great,
How
yeah,
to
well-
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
The guy who says that just by thinking you're not getting old, you're getting old. And the same guy who says this is aging faster than anybody else you can see. He's aging faster than Deepak Chopra, who also says he can't age and all this other stuff, and because it's all in your head and beliefs and whatever. Yet that dude's aging fucking so fast. But then this Joe Dispenza fucking dude is aging super fast. Go look up a picture of him from like 2015 to 2020 and look at each year. 2016. The dude is wow. And he's not sick or anything either, you know what I mean? He just getting old fast. So is that his mindset to look like he's really old, but he's not really old? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
These so
cover.
right there, you know, when they start like, and Corey, you would think Corey being so gifted and everything, he's like, oh, he felt drawn in by this book. This dude's a fucking yeah. And we've talked about him before. He's so the stuff that he says.
I may be really damaging that title, but so that book sat on the table for like 6 months, and I was trying to change some things in my life that I couldn't seem to get broken through, and I was like, I wonder what that book has to say about, you know, could I change like my thinking in my mind? So I said, hey, do you mind if I read that book? And he was like, sure, go ahead. So I started reading that. And when I got to chapter 6, I was reading it like dropping off the kids and stuff like that when I was in carpool lane. And one afternoon, I was laying in bed and I just sat down and I was reading a bunch of the book. I was in chapter 6. Things started clicking in my mind. I would say I just all of a sudden, like, things made sense. All these light bulbs went off and I understood why I reacted in this way at this time. And like, he's real scientific in this book and he really breaks it down.
No, he's really not scientific at all. Like,
and I'm very much that type of thinker.
If you read any of his stuff, he's like exactly like Deepak Chopra. He takes scientific words and he jumbles them up in a hat and then he pulls them one word out at a time and he writes something. and none of the words have anything to do with any of the other words. They contradict things. It's literally the definition of fucking pseudoscience is this dude's work. Like everything he does, it's just garbage. He's not a real doctor. He's one of them fake fucking doctors and shit, fucking online fucking schooling, chiropractic and shit, fucking bullshit. It's nothing real, anything that he says. Everything, like I said, if you just go and read like the cover page, the back of one of his books and stuff, you can be like, what the fuck does this say? Unless you're somebody who's a little, doesn't understand science and logic and fucking reasoning or anything like that. I didn't grasp anything.
It resonated with her.
Above a 4th grade fucking science class is going to be like, oh, wow, that sounds amazing. I could just think stuff and it magically happens. And I was just like clicking like light bulbs. I was like, I want a sandwich. And I just got a sandwich. And I was like, I feel like scratching my butt. And I scratched my butt. And I was just clicking these light bulbs just going off in my head. Because this book just told me, just think stuff and it happens. Just thinking, it just happens and bad things don't ever happen anymore because I read this book and it was science that said quantums and fields of energies and coming together and love and just think happy thoughts. And I was like, oh, so at peace. It resonated with me.
I feel good outside.
Just so, do you have any
Warm
more?
me up.
Do you have any more questions?
Llama chocolates.
Is there any more good shit right here? Or should I go? Because there's still another fucking 40 minutes of this shit.
It's hard because she just talks about the law of one. She talks about all kinds of shit. Man.
Sidewalk, like, right in front of me, and I was like,
yeah, because now she's talking about she saw something dark in front of her.
it freaked me out because the thing was like, it was a blur, and it was probably about 12 feet tall. I mean, it was very tall. So
that's scary.
Even this chick over here is like, yeah. So it was 12 feet tall.
It was right in front of your window.
So she's looking at her like it's you saw a blur, but it was 12-foot tall blur. Like, yeah. So let me ask you a stupid question now.
I know I would definitely not be so calm.
What
if I
time
saw
of day?
something like that.
oh, this was all daylight. Mhm.
So it
all
was,
three.
Was it like a shadow, or it was like literally a black man or something?
But a blur because it went so fast.
It was black and a blur because it went so fast.
It was so fast. You were able to identify
It's
the
12
being.
feet tall. It's got big legs, so it's running really fast. It's really fast, a blur. I almost thought it was the Flash for a second, but then I was like, Flash is not 12 feet tall.
Right.
So it can't be the Flash. So I was like, Corey, what could this be? And he
Maybe
was
it's
like,
Quicksilver. Could have been
does she even say what the fuck Corey thinks it is here?
She calls him. She says, hey, Corey.
Corey, what is this? And Corey's like, well, according to my glass tablets, it's a Arcturian Centurion guard, and he's there, and he's protecting you, and he ran fast like that because there was a threat nearby you, babe. I made sure that you were safe, okay, honey?
Jeanette,
Yeah.
I'm 6'4", so I'm definitely not 12 feet. Well, first of all, if it's a blur that rolls by you and it's so, how were you able to ascertain?
I know,
it's so
ascertain
fast?
like it's 12 feet tall, and how wide was it?
And then the house was out the window, so it must have been a big ass window. Must have been the bay window.
So
then what did you guys talk about this experience? Did you
talked
figure out what it
about it.
was, or how did you
there
get
was
some answers to it?
I don't know. There was so many weird things going on there. I think that since Corey, when he came out, it seemed like we were having a lot of different visitations.
Corey came out what? Of the closet?
Yes, man.
Corey
The
came out.
electric man.
When Corey came out, that we were getting a lot of strange visitors at the house, and I was okay with that. I'm okay with that lifestyle and everything. You know what I mean? It's his thing and whatever. We came to an agreement and stuff, and it's when we get together with the Wilcoxes and stuff. Me and Elizabeth like to, So there was a lot of strange people coming and going.
For like a couple of days, we were hearing It sounded like maybe an 8-year-old child, a couple of them running around on the roof. And that happened for a couple of days. I honestly, I come from a Christian background, okay, and we also, Marissa was seeing lights outside her window. I was really not handling this well.
Do you live where there's no fucking lights outside of your windows ever?
I just want to know how anybody knows what an 8-year-old on the roof sounds like.
Without physically seeing it. You knew it was an 8-year-old.
It was like an 8-year-old sounding.
You could tell the difference.
Yeah.
The sound of the feet. You might be able to think it's a child up there versus an adult running
a raccoon,
around.
Maybe.
Or and maybe an animal or something. But to actually say it was an
8-year-old
8-year-old. Because I bet you I could put my 6-year-old up on the roof and then his 8-year-old friend who lives behind us over here up on the roof. And you won't be able to tell me which one is which. You will not be able to tell me at all. And then we'll throw a squirrel in the mix. And you'll definitely fucking be like, well, it's got to be a giraffe.
It was a Hip Hop Anonymous.
It has to be.
It was Nessie. I heard Loch Ness.
What else has 6 legs?
Godzilla was up there.
I mean, so much was happening. Like Marissa, in the morning, she tells me she's like 9, 10.
How does she? Okay,
but she didn't say what she said. We gotta hear what Marissa says.
No, but there are kids are that age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So maybe her kids are running around the roof.
That's what I'm saying. Did you go check on your kids? Did you make sure your kids was in bed? Are you sure it was on the roof and it wasn't, upstairs in their bedroom or something?
Oh, the aliens were probably, because they probably been identified as special, so they were already coming to take them. And
Wait a minute.
them.
It's aliens? Did she say it's aliens?
No, I'm just saying that's what's going on here.
So 8-year-old aliens, that's what they do. They come. They're like, yeah, we gotta go visit Corey Good. He just came out, so let's go fuck with him. We go run around on his roof.
It's the little grays, yo. Some damn little small ass grays.
No, because Corey came out, 8-year-olds ran around on his roof. Right. Cool. Or what sounded like 8 years.
Right.
Running around on the roof.
We went from 12 feet tall people to 8-year-olds.
Yeah, they could just be small aliens, 8-year-old size aliens. That's why she was, equating it. Or it could possibly be her kids upstairs, not in bed like they're supposed to be. Because mommy and daddy are downstairs talking about aliens.
Drinking a special drink out the little container, though. And water.
It's
juice. She said, Mom,
it's her happy juice.
Night, there was something outside my window, these lights that were playing with me, trying to get me to come outside. And my heart just stopped. And I was like, what'd you do?
Oh, sexy.
These lights were outside my windows playing with me. They were just calling me.
How is the light playing with you and you're like, oh, it's calling me over there? Is it going like this? Was it somebody with is this how you got abducted?
Flashing lights.
Some dude in a mask was outside my window with the flashlights going. Hey, you!
Come here.
It's shining right on her eyes and stuff. Come on, this way. Follow the light. Follow the light. Shining on the ground. Come on, look, follow it. Keep going, right in the back of the van. Into the van.
Okay, wow.
It's definitely aliens.
Oh, out of mind real quick. If you watch when she took a swig, I don't know if she already did it because my head was down, but the way she puts it in her mouth and like holds it like a chickmunk and then swallows it, you don't drink water like that. You kind of either sip.
You don't drink juice like that either.
That's definitely because the same thing with Corey when you watch when he drinks when he's on stage. You better believe she got something to keep her kind of level here. That's why she's so fucking calm and nonchalant. And she got much more nonchalant after she took the last drink.
She's all like,
it's better.
And it was just calling me, playing with me, and it's calling me to come out. And I was like, fuck it, let's go out and play with the light. Hold on, I need some more of my water.
She said, I didn't go outside. And I said, okay, good. If that happens again, you need to come wake me up, please.
Oh, wait,
You
the
know,
lights are
but
calling Marissa.
we did
Oh, they're
have
calling the
a
kids. Oh, yeah.
family abduction experience there also that happened.
You want to go into that a little bit?
Here we go.
Is that okay?
Does
Corey?
everyone recall it? Do you guys all recall the experience?
Marissa does.
That's wild.
Yeah.
He did.
So
He
pause
was
it
the
for a
one that
second.
really recalled it. Mhm.
This is where the grift becomes the family affair. So her child is literally sitting in the audience and she's asking her to recall this event. I'm just saying. Wow.
Where do we begin to draw the line
Hey,
from abuse? What happened to save the children?
They worried about mole kids and shit, but their own.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't tell it here. It might freak him out.
Is it
You
okay?
did?
Is it okay, Connor?
Now the
This
sun.
is Texas. In the duplex. Okay. And he's seen a lot of things too.
I feel bad for these kids when
Woke
they
up
go to
in the
school.
morning, had the same knowing that
Although they're
something
probably
happened.
trained in, like most of these
So
cult
I
ways
get
and
up
stuff.
and
We
I
don't
ask
talk about
him,
this in school.
This
Corey,
is all
what-
make believe.
Did something
This is only stuff we
happen?
say
Like
at
Santa
home.
Claus.
And he was like, yeah.
Like when Uncle
And he asked me
David
if I
comes by
remembered.
and
I
he
said,
touches
no,
you.
I don't remember. So Connor, when I go, he was about 4 years old. He was sleeping in his own bedroom. He might have been 3, but there was blood on his sheets. And that was like up near his head. So I believe it came from the nose. There was blood on his nose a little bit, and then he had some scratches on his chest. And that is another, I was like, oh my gosh. And he remembered, I was like, he's all scared. He remembered, he was talking about the 6-fingered men that had yellow hair like mommy. And he talked about it for quite a while. I'm trying.
Okay, they're living in an apartment building at this point, she just said.
Or a duplex or something.
Something like that? Yeah, okay. You should be checking with your neighbors right now. If this is real and this kid's really bloodied and shit and got scratches on him, she's like, yeah, the 6-foot tall man with the blonde hair, mommy, or whatever the fuck he is. Again, these are all red signs. You need to be doing some better parenting here. Not like, oh my God, I was kind of freaked out over this, but it's just something that we deal here with the goods because Corey came out. He came out the closet.
Day and a half, maybe. And then I think he was processing. He was telling Corey he was very alarmed, and he was like upset this happened. And so that, yeah. So
That was the whole story? That's the whole experience?
That's all she can remember that they could practice in time.
If it really happened, the kid would probably remember it better than she would. Why get him up there? You already got him in the audience right there in the front row.
No, please don't get him up there. That's the problem.
I know, don't keep the kids out of it. The kids should be at home right now. They shouldn't even be at this thing.
I started going around. I didn't know about saging or any of that. So I just started going around and saying, if you're of the light, you're welcome. But if you're not, you have to leave. And that made me feel better. I felt
Oh yes, that would. If my kid, I went into his room, he's screaming, whatever happened, he's bloody, he's got scratches on him and shit. I'd be like, oh, I was just, I'm not even into saging or anything, but I just walked around and I just said, if you're from the light, you're welcome. If
Hold
not,
up.
you gotta
ain't
go.
Light, get here.
And then I just felt so much better after that. I felt safe. I was like, yeah, I'm safe now, and my son should be safe.
This house is clean. This house is clean. Clean as can be. I used the sage with some cedar in it.
completely like I had no control. I mean, even at night, what was going to happen to us, what was happening to my kids. So after that, you know, like Connor was sleeping with us, you know, and Marissa too at times. So
Do you feel like your upbringing, your faith gave you some kind of sort of protection or gave you tools
gave me
to
tools.
feel protected?
Yeah, gave me
Okay.
tools.
Yeah, you might have tool. What?
What tools did you get from a religion that, for the most part, would be like, yeah, that shit is bullshit?
But she didn't even apply any of it. All she said was she
She
told him, "You're not
saged.
light, get out of here." But you think she would
I
have
know
read
she didn't
biblical
even,
scriptures,
she's
anything?
just reading from the Bible or
Nothing.
remembering.
Contacted a
She wasn't
priest,
saying the rosary.
exorcism, nothing.
Didn't even say the rosary or
Clean the
nothing.
house,
Like
nothing.
nothing.
Holy water.
No Hail Marys.
Steak, maybe just in case it was a vampire. Nothing.
She went right for this. Why they even got saged? And they don't never do no saging or nothing around here. Nothing. I never even thought about that. But I just went to the drawer and I got some sage, and I just like the light. You can stay in the dark. You got to
You
go.
were raised religious. You went
Yo,
to Nazarene school.
Darkness.
At no point did
You got to
just-
go up in this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
okay.
You ain't sticking
All
around
right,
here. All right,
yeah.
let's skip around. Let's go. Let's go ahead on another fucking little bit here. Sure.
I assume there was an awkward period there, is what we're saying. that
Yeah.
You had to kind of.
Yeah, I had to really, all the information that I had to really wrap my head around it. But I knew,
I'll
I
go
knew
back
this
here
was
real quick.
happening. You know,
Back for a
I was
second.
able to understand that this was the case. But
You can tell she's getting like drunk and shit now. See now how she's leaning
What's
back
this,
and looking
much
like that,
time,
and
right,
she's
is what
looking.
we're
She's
saying.
looking like,
Yeah.
oh
What?
yeah,
What
Yeah, I had to
what's up?
Just keep
all
asking
the
the questions.
information,
Anita.
but I had to really wrap my head around it. But I knew this was happening. You know, the signs were there. I knew my husband. I had known him for so long. So,
Oops, I didn't mean to pause.
and then, you know, the weird experiences, that download was incredible. I've had, yeah, I don't know, just tried to think of all of them. I
Okay,
was
she's
really,
getting downloads, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck has come of it? Anything? Was it soup recipes or
It's
something?
taken 25 years for her to even speak about all these
things?
experiences in the midst of this stuff, married to this man.
Downloads.
Who's been,
There's downloads. Must not have been good. The recipe for fucking chicken noodle soup, whatever the fuck it was, must not have been good. It must-
no, she
It
got
must
the
have came
secret to
in
Corey's
before.
hair cream. Why do you think his hair is so
Oh,
juicy?
she got the real recipe to the Soul Glow.
Come on, man.
Only
They're about to market
the
that shit.
only true Soul Glow.
He gonna be
recipe.
selling it. It's gonna make a comeback. Watch.
Last one.
really
Oh, maybe we'll do another.
just trying to survive. I mean, you know, honestly, on the inside. But then as I was able, you know, it was uncomfortable until I got courageous and the time came for me to step into the conference realm and into the public. And when I did that, I got a whole bunch of other knowingness. The first, we were at the New Living Expo, and that was the very first time I sat in an audience and heard him talk. And as I was sitting there, I understood why. It became very clear why I had the parents I did, why I had the grandparents I did, why I had certain experiences in my life. It all was coming to me, and I was like,
Because your mother had you, and your mother's, her parents had them.
She
So that's
chose them, son.
so.
What's wrong with you?
So that's how that works. There's you don't get in. You know what I mean? You're not sitting up there like a little ball of light and stuff. And like, oh shoot, my number. Somebody calls the number like 6,759,042. You're like, oh dude, that's me. Like in Beetlejuice, and they got the fucking long number and shit. You know what I mean? There's all fucking. It's almost 8 billion people on Earth now. What are we at? 7.8 billion or something? Ticking away. They're getting closer to that 8 billion people, right? So when it was her time to become here on Earth, and she's like, well, they're like, well, why don't you go ahead and pick out who you want to be with? No, make it random for me. Make it. I want it to be something really
I'll
special.
spin the wheel.
It's really special. That's part of my life, and it just instills something into me and stuff. And that's why I know that these are my grandparents and my parents and everything. All right, you fucking got a kid. Here you go. And they push her in this little fucking box thing, and they push a button, and she comes out. I chose this life. Yeah, okay.
I chose my parents, my grandparents,
I
my
love that
pets.
shit. And, you
I
know,
chose where we're gonna
I'm
live.
healing from.
the
I'm
cars.
healing from my ancestors' trauma that I chose. I chose to live so I can come here and I can heal the trauma that they went through. I chose those ancestors and all the
but now she's
horrible
making
things
the
they went
circuit,
through.
son. She's here for all of us.
Because I wanted to know, what they went through and feel it and experience, because we got an ancient curse in my family and I had to break the curses. The fuck?
Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, wow. So I understood at that point, and then I had to step into it. And when I did that, things got better. Actually, it just.
Once I stepped in the line, things with me and Corey got way, way more better. I stopped walking into the cabinets and the refrigerator and everything else. So once I was like down with what Corey was doing, once I was like, because at first, basically, because of my Christian background and everything, I was like, Corey, this isn't appropriate and everything like that. I believe in God and Jesus and everything like that.
She basically is saying that when I sat in this first conference and watched him, we got paid to be there. He got flew there.
I know.
All these people in the audience listening to this bullshit and they're paying for it. I realized, fuck it, I'm all in. I stepped right into it. Went headlong. Put the pads on and everything.
Let's go.
I think that helped though, because I understood why I chose my grandparents, and why I chose a dietitian as a mother, because I had to, during all this time as well, I was suffering with ulcerative colitis, an autoimmune disease. I had that. I was diagnosed with that right after Marissa was born. I had it for 12 years. And so that was a whole healing journey that I had to go through as well.
Do you feel like that helped you in your spiritual growth as well? I feel like many people find trials and tribulations to help propel them forward. Did you see that was the case for you too?
Yeah, definitely. As far as the UC and healing, yeah. But I was able to see little angels along my way, like early in life. Like my dad, he's a naturalist. He never went to the doctor. He told me that if he supports his body will heal it.
But this is her dad that was all into science and making her think and everything like that. And you know what I mean? Making her do all this stuff. And here he is. He's an angel, by the way. He's an angel.
No, well, I get that, she sees him as someone who helped heal her. And I say my doctors and stuff and nurses are the angels I've ever seen. But, okay.
Yeah, but we're not speaking in a little sense like he's an angel. He comes down and he saved me. It's my angel.
I think she's saying
she's like, I changed
She's
him.
talking about the people.
I chose my dad so he can save me later on.
I knew I was going to need him.
I knew I was going to need my naturalist dad because later on it was going to save my life when I chose him. He's such an angel.
Itself. So I had him, and then I got into the medical field. I did work in the medical field for a few years. And I found out I was too empathetic and I couldn't really handle it emotionally.
Here we go.
But I met a nurse when I was working there that taught me, she had been a nurse for 20 years, but she was going to herbology and acupuncture school. So she was teaching me all about herbs, and she did acupuncture on me for 6 months. And I had all these, thank goodness, I had these angels along the way, these helpers, because when I didn't know I was going to be diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and Western medicine did nothing for me. They had no answers. And so I had to go the holistic route. And when I did, I was able to turn my gut around.
It only took her 12 years, though.
I don't have that disease anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. There's no way that she has ulcerative colitis and it's not affecting her with this liquor and everything like that.
Right.
There's no way she's
healed. I was also there for a while. I was on
especially
a lot
the way
of
that she drinks.
And so that was in 2017 is when
it took 12 years of all these angels coming into my life for them.
Wait, so 2017 is the first time he spoke? He spoke? That can't be right. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding what she's saying. Because I met her in 2018.
Yeah, so that ain't right. I don't know, because she can't fucking remember shit. Look at her. She's
Yeah.
trying to look up, and you can tell that she's trying to recall.
Say
and,
something. Say something.
And trying to
Answer your
remember
question.
something.
Corey, help.
And I pretty much got off of all of that in a gradual manner. I believe I had divine assistance, definitely, but I was eating better. I was doing things right. So
Nothing wrong
I
with that.
tapered off, and I think that helped definitely. And then I completely changed my diet, but I couldn't eat anyways. So I think I set that up for myself, honestly. Because the gluten, I can't eat gluten, and I went to juicing more and learning which foods are acidic, which foods, because that I needed to be I needed to decrease the acidity in my body and then the inflammation as well. So it
More pseudoscience, fucking holistic fucking garbage. You cannot change the pH level of your body, okay, without causing serious harm to yourself. You know who can change the pH level of their body? Bulimic people and anorexic people. Constantly fucking purging will change the pH level of your body. You have to put your body through living hell to change it. Your body self-regulates the pH level on its own. Drinking alkaline water and an alkaline diet and all this stuff will not change the pH level of your body. Your body's pH level is self-regulating. Okay? It maintains its, no matter what you put into it. Whether you put something that's really acidic or something that's really alkaline and stuff, your blood acidity stays the same, okay? All the time, no matter what. Now, the acid in your stomach, that's a different story, but that's not anything has to do with any of the stuff that these people think they're talking about. You cannot, besides, I forget the other. There's like 3 ways or whatever that you can change the pH level of your fucking body, and then none of them are good. I know that one of them is fucking just extreme fucking vomiting and stuff like that. I forgot what it is. I have it saved somewhere. I don't know what my phone is right now. Okay, but you cannot, no matter what your diet is, you cannot change the pH level of your body. Your body maintains it's got its systems and processes. It does it on its own. It doesn't matter what kind of water you put into it, what kind of food and everything. It figures it out and it does it what it is.
But that special water they sell at the
It
conferences,
doesn't fucking matter
But
how
that
special
water-
the water
but
it
the
is.
water is special.
You can do fucking test it and you can drink that water all day long.
they said that-
your pH in your body maintains the same level. If it's not maintained at that level, you are going to be a very sick person in a fucking hospital and most likely dying.
But they said the water that the conferences,
And it's not
though.
because of ulcerative colitis or anything.
They
or
put
anything
rocks
that,
in it.
It's none of it. It's not
There's
fucking
rocks in
helping.
it.
You can fucking
Crystals.
stage it too and everything else. And it's not, you cannot change the pH level of your body without putting it through, again, extreme fucking torture. So if she was anorexic and bulimic and then now she's not, yeah, she did that because she was probably, had changed the pH level of her body from constantly fucking puking all the time. That's why those people look like that and they're sick the way they are and everything like that, besides their mental problems that they're suffering from and everything like that. It's an actual, you know what I mean? Their body is physically dying and everything and killing itself and stuff like that because it cannot maintain because it doesn't have anything to do that stuff. But all it needs is just regular food. Any food will do. Fuck, pond water will work. Okay? Some pond water and some bread, and your body will be like, cool, we're good.
But
no, it will stay the same. Stay the same. Whether you're drinking
water.
Whether you are drinking pond water and eating fucking raw steak, okay? Or you're drinking alkaline diet and a fucking alkaline water and a fucking all organic alkaline fucking diet and shit like that, your body pH will stay the fucking same. Unless one of those diets you're purging on.
But the water, they sell it at the conferences. I seen it in it. And it was like $10 and you get this bottle of water and it's got
Did you buy it?
No, I got one for free.
Oh, so
Oh, you know what it tasted like?
water.
And you know what else? It was wet. When it, dripped on me because water isn't actually wet.
Those water with the rocks are real wet too.
Right. And they had water there with crystals in it. Crystals.
So yeah, anybody that's talking about that bullshit, they're full of shit, and most likely they have some type of supplements they're hucking somewhere or something too. Yeah, you gotta get my alkaline. That's alkaline water. It can add this drink powder and makes it taste good and stuff. It's all alkaline, organic and stuff, and there's no Pepsi in it or there's
a little vodka.
No pixie sticks, and yeah, there's no bad stuff, and no gluten.
Add a little vodka.
There's no gluten in it. Oh, I would hope
This vodka is gluten free.
There's no gluten in it because it's not fucking bread.
It's got no carbs.
It's not processed wheat, so I hope there's no gluten in it. Yeah, this gluten-free water. I started drinking gluten-free water and shit. I love how fucking all these people, no, there really is a serious thing with gluten. People are allergic to gluten and stuff, but a lot of these nutcases, and most often are not fucking, they're not allergic to gluten. They're just like gluten freaks and shit. They're like, oh, I gotta have everything that's gluten free and stuff. And I'm like, well, 99% of that shit you got right there is gluten free anyway. You could have bought the stuff that doesn't say gluten free on it. That's fucking half the price. I love it because they put gluten free on everything. And they charge more money for it. It's stuff that's not even close, that never had gluten in it. Would never be a gluten in it, ever. Like lemons and shit.
Hey, Spudwife said that she heard that she likes things dark. Well, all I'm saying is, all I remember is at the end of the night of this event, as I'm leaving, I'm waiting to get picked up, and out the side of my eye, I see this crazy looking white woman come running at me who jumps into my fucking arms. Oh, you're leaving? Oh, you don't have to go, do you? Yeah, I'm leaving. I didn't even recognize who she was at first, and she smelled of, yeah. Anyway, but
yeah, so
maybe she did want some coffee in her cream.
Her acidity was off. They didn't have at that conference, they didn't have the right alkaline water.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months, but I mean, honestly, that's not long. I suffered with it for 12 years and was able to turn it around in 6 months.
I think it's very much as a testament to how powerful looking at your body in a holistic manner.
12 years of all those angels and all that shit again, but in 6 months it just turned right around.
Much quicker in healing.
Yes.
Compared to a system that wants to keep you ill, right, and on medication and
right,
tries to help, but I mean,
and a lot of it was through my own research, just because I was desperate, because their answer for me was not a good one. I didn't want surgery.
So then, how did you hear what regular doctors were telling you and kind of keep your own mind space and hold your vision of how you want to be healed?
If her only option for ulcerative colitis,
when you have a difficult life experience,
was fucking surgery, the doctor's like, yeah, the only way we can fix this is surgery. That's fucking pretty serious, okay? And she didn't fucking heal herself. So I highly doubt that she was even at that point with her ulcerative, because it's probably just an ulcer from the fucking drinking. Dealing with Corey's fucking bullshit all the time. Who the fuck are you suing now? What the fuck?
Really?
This is costing us too much money. I need new shoes and stuff.
It's not costing us anything. The
experience anyone here, it's hard to hear like an authority figure tell you the reality, and then you decide that it's going to be something else. How did you go about that?
I've always had my intuition, I think. Just, I'm diagnosed with this disease. They don't know what causes it, and they can only maintain the symptoms. And they don't know how to cure it. It just didn't set well with me. And my dad had always taught me, if you support your body, it'll heal itself. And they didn't know what was wrong.
Oh, boy.
And I wasn't getting better. They were just band-aiding.
That is to a certain point, yes.
And
keep your body healthy, and your body's gonna, yes, that's what your body is supposed to do. But there's shit. I'm healthy. I take care of my body and everything. I take care of myself, but my foot's broken right now. But yes, it's going to heal. It's going to heal. And you know what? My foot's going to heal, even though if I could just go on an all cupcake fucking diet right now. Just drink cupcakes. I mean, they just eat cupcakes. I'll drink them too. I'll put them in a
McDonald's
blender.
diet. Remember the guy ate the McDonald's?
Yeah, McDonald's, whatever. And my foot will still heal right now. My guarantee you, my foot will still heal. It will heal just as good as if I eat an all alkaline diet too. Yes, eating healthy is good.
But if you
Eating
drink that
eating
water,
a diet and a good
water.
diet and everything is better than eating fast food and doing all that. You are gonna feel way better. You are gonna get better and stuff like that. You got, especially you having stomach problems and stuff. But certain ones, no, it's not gonna go away and stuff. You know what I mean? There's certain things that are going on around down there and stuff. And if they were really recommending surgery as your only option, you got some serious fucking problems down there. That means like the area right there cannot be fixed. It cannot be repaired and stuff. So I doubt it was at that point and everything. I got a lot of stomach problems myself and everything. And yes, eating good, healthy foods and stuff, it's a lot better and everything like that. But it's not a perfect fucking thing. It's not perfect. You know what I mean? No matter how good you do it, you got fucking problems. Some people got problems and stuff. No matter how good you take care of your body. Look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's like, nah, I don't need a vaccine. I won't get COVID. I take care of myself. I eat my vitamins every day. I take my brain and on it, and I'm on it. I'm working out and I'm in the sauna. I'll just sweat that shit out. I just sweat it out because I'm Joe Rogan. And COVID ain't gonna get me. And then he's like, fucking, it kicked my ass at a COVID the other day. But
only for one day.
It was only just one day it kicked my ass. Well, I thought you was healthy, Joe. I thought that COVID couldn't get you, Joe. You're healthy, Joe. Your body's going to take care of you, Joe. If your body's going to take care of you, Joe, why are you taking all those fucking drugs? Again, these people, the drug, the vaccine, I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it, but give me the horse dewormer and steroids and all this other fucking shit.
He named like 9 things he did over that period of time to get rid of it. I feel healthy as a horse.
Again, name the ingredients that are in that steroid. Name the ingredients in the horse dewormer or in the antibiotic treatments.
Or the Z-Packs.
Or the Z-Packs.
Or any other shit that he said he took.
And explain why you're not worried about those ingredients first. What are the ingredients in the vaccine, Joe Rogan? Hello. Probably wouldn't even gotten COVID if you had the vaccine, you dumb fuck. Wouldn't even had to take a whole fucking however 7, 8, 9 fucking different types of drug fucking regimens you're on. Because you can't just take that, like you don't just take the horse dewormer once and you're done. You're supposed to take it for a few days. You're supposed to take the Z-Packs and stuff. Take this stuff, you know what I mean? Until you're done, especially antibiotics. You need to finish all the antibiotics and stuff. Doctor,
he was in the house for days with this shit at IVs and everything attached to him and shit. Like, I'm going to get better. Don't worry about it. I'm on the mend. It's going to work out. Jamie, look it up. Tell me what's in that shit I didn't take. Which is worse, Jamie? Did you look it up, Jamie?
Jamie, look this shit up for me. Give me something else. I don't care. I got $100 million. Go buy a damn horse and then tell everybody it's got worms. Get me this shit.
I need the pace. Come on.
Dude, he probably, literally, they're not. Oh, wait, he lives in Texas. Damn it. Never mind. You can get it.
Sorry, KB.
No, man.
KB lives in Texas.
No problem for him getting horse dewormer.
Y'all take the L for him now, though.
He doesn't need to prove that he owns a horse.
No.
He just had to say, I got COVID, and somebody was like, here, I got how many? I got gallons of it here. We're making it for you. Dude's mixing it up in his bathtub.
He didn't even say he smoked any weed either. I just did everything else. It's all these drugs. Drugs.
Didn't even plug his fucking supplement company or anything.
Oh, he wasn't using his supplement. He's using everybody else's shit. You
should have.
Got IVs, pills. Dude is hilarious, but whatever. Hey, that's y'all's man and them. They'd rather be dewormed than vaccinated. Listen, people do some strange shit. If you're worried about one thing, it's not tested. Why jump into something else that's not tested? Because people are saying, oh, this may work, or it worked for me based on what? It's the same thing with the MMS bleach and everything else that these fucking people pushes, these colloidal silvers and stuff. They'll turn blue, and they're pushing bullshit, and people eat this shit up. Eat it up. And you have the biggest voice on a podcast platform who basically just named like 9 different things. Like, just go look at this fucking thing. I'll post it there. I think it's on World Stars where I saw it. I'll post it on Twitter or whatever, and you can watch it. And he names literally a bunch of things. He's like, for a few days, and I had this IV plugged into me, and I had this, and I get the Z-Pack, and I had prednisone, and then they gave me that, I just what the fuck it is, and I did. He named shit I've never even heard of. So he did a regimen of shit, but that's y'all's man's man. But it's cool. Hey, he's Joe Rogan, right? He didn't change his clothes for the whole weekend. Hey, whatever.
Anything else good happen at the fucking end of this
I
bullshit?
don't know if you already passed over some of it, because I know she talks about her, like she read the book first before him, The Law of One.
Oh boy.
And yeah,
actually, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. The last one's been smoked anyway. It's just fucking. What the hell is wrong with these people?
I don't know why anybody promotes anything out of mine. Anything, period, that you feel isn't fucking known as anything else but some crazy shit. They always talk about doing research and stuff, but I don't know. What do I know?
Oh boy.
I'm just here because I'm here. So you saw the latest grifter, y'all. Another one's in the fucking ring. She's in now. After 25 years of marriage, Phoenix Stacy Good has joined the grift. It's a family affair, folks. They're gonna go on the road like the Partridge Family.
She's been there, but now she's out there. She's out on the front line.
Oh, she got tired of fucking cheerleading. She wanted in the game. She's like, "Fuck it, I sit on the sideline.
Yeah.
Bring my front line to the front line.
I want the attention.
I need some of this. I want to be able to travel for free too, and people pay me and stuff. But yeah, she's at the end of it too, though, because like I said, it's a struggle for everybody right now. But it's a bigger struggle for them than some of the bigger names, because you still have Conscious Life Expo is going on in a week or so. They have a Conscious Life Expo. The 17th to the 19th, they're doing some shit. And it's between them and London. So it's not just them. I think they're doing a simultaneous cast or something in London or some shit. But you don't see his name on any of that shit. You know, your boy Jimmy Church and all them will be there. He's the host. River Moon Coffee, Jonas side. I know how much you love it. Thanks for the support. Jesus, guy, was that? Well, yeah, he was kissing Corey's butt cheek. That was his partner. He probably invested everything. That dude, listen, he was sitting there. You saw he was talking about in the other video that he was doing the sound. He's probably had the film set up. He was doing everything and shit. So he was invested in all that, probably monetarily as well. So he wasn't just kissing his ass. Corey sold him on some good shit. This guy thought he was going to make it to the top, son. You know, they pad their resume. So, you know, if this guy didn't really know him before that and just kind of got to Corey recently, Corey was able to say, well, I did this, I did that. I was on Gaia, and on Ancient Aliens, whatever. And I speak all over the world and blah, blah, blah. And I fly first class to Hawaii and to Brazil and blah, blah. Where's the Brazil stuff still, by the way? He still hasn't talked about the briefings he got in Brazil. We're still waiting for that. Months later. What about Brazil? Corey, what were the briefings about? Will we ever know? Marissa will be the first. She's 16. It's sad. It's a hard topic to talk about, but once you start throwing your family and stuff and kids in it, and if you're creating these delusions for them, and even if the kids have dreams, kids absolutely have weird dreams and stuff like that, and they'll wake up and tell you, oh, I saw this or this happened to me in a dream. And it's an explanation of a child. So if you're going to take that and expand upon it by saying to them, creating these images in their mind, well, this is aliens, this is that. If they're sitting in that audience for any of those talks, including her own, they're inputting that, they're absorbing all that. They're creating that stuff in their own minds. Now they become the next generation, because what it become? Oh, like, shit, look at Mommy and Daddy. They're on stage. Look at all these people who are like
what people?
They're clapping. They're doing, for them, that's a big crowd. You know what I'm saying? These kids probably have never been to a concert or anything big like that.
So they got a bigger crowd when they go to an assembly in school.
I'm just saying, but for them to see that, though, people are clapping when your mommy and daddy and Uncle David and Auntie Elizabeth are telling jokes and shit up on stage and everything. They're listening to all that. They're absorbing all that. And children have creative ass fucking minds. You go and ask any of those kids now, they're going to be part of it. They have the stories. They've heard daddy stories. They've heard mommy stories now. Now, what are they going to do? Well, do I like, oh, no, Mommy and Daddy, that's a lie. That didn't happen. No, they're going to go along with it because they're kids. And look at the attention they're getting. They're sitting a bunch of people in a room who are like looking at them like, oh, this kid, what happened? And to her, what happened? Wow. And hey, guys, nice to meet you at the end and shake their hands and stuff like, thank you for
Can I
being
get
so
your
courageous.
autograph?
You're
Can I
so
get your
courageous to tell
autograph?
these stories and everything and help to validate mommy and daddy's experiences and stuff. You guys are awesome. They're not getting that at school. They're not, unless they're the captain of the football team or something, or the kid that the most popular kids in school. You're getting it from a bunch of adults who are praising you for this shit. And that's what's going on in that assembly, especially once it gets out. And you saw what was there. So all those people, whatever amount it was, those 75 people in the room are there for that shit. And that's exactly what happens. Now your kids are completely all up in this shit. But they talk about other people's families and values and love and light and stuff like that. Like, come on. Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, and out of mind, Japan is not using that for a treatment. That's bullshit. I literally was just on the Japanese health ministry website and stuff, and they tell you do not use horse dewormer for COVID. That's I don't know where you got yours, but next time just double check the sources and everything like that. And like I said, it's really easy. You can just go to the Japan. I think it's the Ministry of Health or whatever the hell they call it over there and stuff, and it tells you right there. Just like us, it's just like you can go to, you know what I mean? What your state health department and stuff, or you can go the FDA and all that stuff. And Japan has the same stuff there. So if you see something on an article somewhere saying, oh, they do it in Japan, why can't we use it here and stuff? You can literally just go and check Japan's websites and stuff and just check Japan. And they'll tell you, yeah, no, that's not true. We don't approve using horse dewormer over here either. I don't know what other countries you might have heard. We can check those too right now if you'd like. You know what I mean? But yeah, when you hear stuff like that, you always check everything.
And V, they don't even need to do anything as elaborate as have to go take these kids to be put under any type of hypnosis of this stuff. They're kids. If the kid wakes up with a crazy dream and you expound upon that dream and create these images, oh, that's not what it was. Or they just hear mommy and daddy talking through osmosis and they're having these type of dreams. It doesn't take much. Why wouldn't these kids, we're gonna go to a big conference this weekend, guys, and you're gonna hear mommy and daddy speak, and we're gonna talk about you, and people are gonna, blah blah blah, and set them up. The kids are gonna be in. What kid isn't? Unless they're like a real serious introvert. But these kids see what their parents are doing, and they see the accolades that they are getting within the little bubble they've created. You don't need to do anything that serious. Just take the kids and put a bunch of shit in front of them. They just heard more of it. What hypnosis do they need? If they hadn't heard that story before, they heard it today. But clearly they have before, because she said to the son, like, oh, do you care if I tell that story? Because I know he gets scared about the story and everything like that. But, he's scared about it, but then you still talk about it. But okay, hey, whatever. So I listen. Do what you want to do as adults. It's like if you want to go be a furry, you want to be anything, you want to go to Comic-Cons and dress up or whatever the fuck you want to be. That's great. You want to go LARP for a day at a Comic-Con and stuff. That's what that shit is built for. But building that life on LARPing and making your children think that type of shit is it'd be different. And I hope, and I do hope, this is the one thing about it. I hope for some reason they explain to these kids, like, this is all make believe, okay? But you just can't tell anybody. I honestly would rather hope that that's what they're telling these kids. Like, this is make believe, like Santa Claus, but it's just like your other friends who believe Santa Claus is real. You can't say anything to them, okay? Because they can't accept it. They can't handle it. So I need you to be big boys and girls and just go along with this, okay? Because this is just fun stuff. We're gonna have a great time.
This is how mommy and daddy buy you Nintendos.
Exactly. This is how you get to go on these cool trips, and that's why you get to see all this cool stuff. Okay, I'll go along with that at least. But the idea that they're making them think that any of this stuff is true, good luck. And they can't prove it to a bunch of adults. The kids aren't going to look for proof. What proof do they need? Daddy might go outside every now and then and fucking fly a drone by or do something up there. He'll have someone do some crazy shit with flashlights or something.
Just totally crushed BG's whole world. You let her know that Santa Claus is not real.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, BG's. Yeah.
Santa Claus is real. He's real.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Santa's
It's okay.
real.
Don't cry. Please
Yeah,
don't
my
cry.
bad. My bad, BG's. Like, seriously.
Yeah, Corey Good can't even get a PS5.
But I
wait. I got one though. I want to know how Mr. Beast keep getting so many though. I know he's rich and he got a lot of money, but what fucking stores just handing Mr. Beast fucking PS5s like that? You got to have a.
He's paying insiders. He's paying shoppers.
Shitload of fucking money to these people. You got to be paying shitloads of money. This dude's got so many PS5s. I'm like, this motherfucker. At least he's giving them all away, though. You know what I mean? At least he gives them all away to people.
Yeah. Santa's real in Australia, as real as Australia is. But yeah, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. But I do hope that's what it is. I'd rather that and just be like, listen, kids, this is just going to be the greatest adventure ever. And these kids just think it's some fairy tale shit. But even my grandbaby, like, she watched The Conjuring 1 and 2, and she was like, I was like, you watch what? She's like, yeah, but don't worry about it, Layla. It's not real. I know it's not real. And I'm like, all right, well, at least she gets that part of it.
That's like we've been telling my kid since he was little, like when he was watching TV and stuff. That's why he watches a lot of the stuff that he watches now, because it's not real.
I know it's not real. Because if you think about it, they were both pregnant with the babies at the same time when they met Andrew.
It's not a fucking family of grifters.
Oh man, I love it. I love the connection I have to the fucking father though. Because I was like, I know this dude. And I was like, oh yeah, all those years working, doing club stuff and fucking and show stuff in Rhode Island as well. Mm-hmm. You see some crazy shit. But yeah, okay. It is what it is. Santa lives in our heart. Okay, hey, Santa can live wherever they want him to live. I'd be more prone to believe Santa's real than anything that I fucking heard from the Goods or the Mr. Wilcox or fucking Billy or Emery, any of them.
I don't know how anybody believes either one of them. They're not good. Like, none of that was believable. Like if it's again, it's like the fish fucking story. Okay, sometimes the fish story is believable, but it's got to be a really good fish story. You know what I mean? Can't just be like,
yeah, we just got one the other day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I still haven't seen him actually reel it in.
He didn't reel it in. It didn't.
Right.
He couldn't get it on the boat.
Oh, but look what I caught! Like, you see this big ass. It looked like a shark.
He had it on the line, but he couldn't bring it in.
Didn't reel it in, so you didn't catch it.
So
that was the greatest story. Listen.
But still, you know what I mean. But these two telling the story, she can't remember the story, half of the story. You know, like what? Maybe you should ask me another question, because she was totally about to tell us like something about before she started dating Corey, and then they're like, yeah, what about experiences with him and whatever the fuck they asked. And I'm like, huh? And him telling stories is just like, hello.
Listen, she got progressively
was
looked
abducted
like drunk
by aliens.
It looked like she was slurring her
and then
words
in the
at some
end,
point.
she started to relax a little bit more, but she still wasn't a good storyteller. Like none of that.
Because that's when she started slurring her words and shit. She was getting too comfortable.
None of it. I was like, wow, I could actually. But that seems like. It's a plausible story. No, none of it was even come close to being like, yeah, that's believable. I could believe that your kid woke up and he had scratches on him and you don't know how they got there in the middle of the night and whatever. Yeah. But not when you're telling it.
It was a 6-fingered alien. 6-fingered. It has 6. Yeah, you remember that?
But you also got 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and you know.
And there was the 8-year-old.
Me and my sister didn't always get along very well when we was kids either. So I remember getting scratched up by my sister and stuff, and I probably bloodied her nose.
Or he scratched himself in his sleep too hard.
Something, or because he was only like 3.
His nose is bleeding or
little
something.
Kid or something. My kid's 6, and he still scratches his eye all the time and stuff, freaking rubbing his eye and stuff when he wakes up. Like, how'd you get that scratch? I don't know. Just going like this.
So I scratched myself, motherfucking sleep. Fuck it. It wasn't no go.
Yeah, I don't know if I've scratched myself in my sleep lately.
Well, every now and then you just like scratched a little bit too hard when you're sleeping. That's all. I know. I rub my hand against my beard.
That's something. He might have had a bloody nose and be like, "What? Oh shoot! It's got wet on his chest. What is this?" And he had a couple little red marks. Oh my god! What happened? There was a demon in here.
No, it was a 6-fingered alien.
A 6-fingered alien.
And don't forget, there were 8-year-old aliens on the roof.
They had blonde hair like you, Mommy.
Yeah. The blonde hair looks like you, Mommy.
Why they always look like somebody they know? Because it's either somebody they know that did something to them, or they're just making up a fucking story, and they can only think of so many people they know. You can tell that with kids. Unless you're a gullible
shit,
fucking
hello?
parent who believes in stupid fucking shit, you're gonna be like, oh my
The
god.
adults, there was an 8-year-old alien on the roof running around. It sounded like an 8-year-old, like, you know, and it was running around on the roof. You mean it
I
sounds
know, and
like
then she
your
goes
kids?
into proceeds to tell a story that when her daughter is like 9 years old, and she's like, and then at night, I'm like, what, so could it have been your kid running around? Your kid can't run around.
Hey.
None of this shit, like any of it.
V, but at least you try to look for logic. That's the whole thing. There is no logic to the shit that they say. It's just like all of a sudden, after 25 years of these experiences, she's had all this stuff just compiled up and she can't even tell the story properly. And, you know, I get maybe she needed a little drink to be able to get on that stage and be able to talk in front of people for the very first time. That's not easy. It's not like I've never fucking smoked a blunt or anything before I've gotten on stage or when I've hosted or spoke at a conference or some shit. So I get that idea, but I'm not smoking it through it. I wish it'd be cool to be able to smoke a blunt and talk to her at a conference, but I can't do that. So I'm not knocking the whole process. It just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. I met the woman and had a very long, deep conversation about myself and what I was doing there and why I was there. And this is V, and this was at Portal to Ascension the year before, I believe you were this. This is 2018. I was at Portal to Ascension. And that's what I met. I mean, this is a long conversation. Same time I met Jordan Sather, a bunch of other people, John D'Souza. It just was talking to all these different people for hours, you know, in little groups and in different fucking things. And just, she mentioned none of that. It was all about Corey. Her little conversation was about me and what was going on. And then her conversation before that was about Corey. Because it was like, oh yeah, my husband's Corey Gunny speaking blah, 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 blah. I was like, I know he is. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So tell me about you, Jakey.
Okay.
Nothing.
And back to the alkaline diet thing, because I knew I had something somewhere about this, because fucking people love to fucking say that stupid shit. And I'm like, no, please just read something from real doctors, real scientists. Okay. So your body maintains its pH level on its own, like the blood pH and everything like that on its own. Okay. And if it's not, it's because you have some serious medical conditions, like you have, you could have, hold on, where is it? Kidney disorder. It would be a kidney disorder, or you could have a lung disease, like a bad lung disease, not just asthma. It's got to be like, or it would have to be like severe asthma where the kid's like all the time and stuff, because how your body balances it is with your lungs and stuff and your blood going through the kidneys and everything like that. Okay. And none of these things can be cured with an alkaline diet by changing it. Okay. The other thing is by having blood diseases, alkalosis, or acidosis, blood diseases and stuff like that, which you need medicine. Again, eating, you could drink all the alkaline water in the world and have all the alkaline water food in the world. It's not going to help. You need to see a doctor and get help for it. And then again, there's other things that will cause this stuff, like it can cause your metabolism by vomiting and everything like that, continuous vomiting, like people that will change your blood pH. And again, you need to go to a hospital, not just drink a bottle of alkaline water after you fucking purge. You need to go to the hospital. You need to see a doctor and stuff, because your kidneys will start to shut down and everything like that, and you'll have other serious problems. Then there's other things that you can, you take in a large quantities of methanol, antifreeze, aspirin. These will all, and again, doing that, you're going to have to go to the hospital and you're going to have to see a doctor, and they're going to have to, fix you up that way. Drinking alkaline water and an alkaline diet, it's not going to help you at all. None of these things, again, none of the things that will actually change your pH level, your blood pH level, your body's pH level are good things and can be cured with drinking alkaline water or eating alkaline food by changing your diet. None of them. They're all bad things. They're all stuff that you need to be treated by medical professionals. Not a holistic doctor, not a chiropractor, not some quack or whatever. No.
But the water?
Nope, not somebody selling water with rocks and crystals and fucking. and all kinds of fucking other stupid shit is to do it. You know what I mean? These things you need to go.
But the water was alkaline.
You may need oxygen treatments, oxygen therapy or something. You know, there's all kinds of things, but you need to go and you need to see a doctor if your blood and the only way to know if your pH in your blood is off and not right is because you're gonna be sick in some way, and you're gonna have to go see a doctor, and they're gonna have to do a test. And then they'll tell you. You can't just be like, oh, I feel like my pH is off today. I'm going to drink a little extra water.
See, Jonaside says diet water.
That's not how it works.
Hello?
With any of the...
You heard you had 30 pounds of poop trapped in your colon? Good luck, buddy. You don't have no colon issues. Trust me on that one.
Hey, you probably want to see a doctor.
Yeah.
You probably want to see a doctor.
Yep. I know.
Not probably. You should definitely call tomorrow morning first thing, schedule an appointment as soon as possible, and let them know that you.
Yeah, I don't think the water's going to work for
you
that.
may possibly have 36 pounds of poop. You get that much poop stuck in you. How you feeling? How are you feeling right now?
You full of shit.
You're full of shit, man. You're probably not feeling too good. When you got a lot of shit stuck up in you, it's not a good thing.
We're not talking about shit. And colons. Let's move on.
So,
but the water, it said it was alkaline pH. It said it would balance and it would do all this. It had incredible health benefits. And they had purified it in the waters Lake Minnetonka too. You know, Apollonia jumped in there topless. So, you know, that water is probably
again, no, eating healthier and stuff like that, and not drinking fucking city tap water that's fucking full of chemicals and gone through your lead pipes in your house and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's good for you. You might feel a little bit healthier. You might feel better if you was eating a whole bunch of pizza and fucking junk and ordering out every night and whatever, you know, if you change your diet and do that, that may be good. I mean, you might just have had, you know, it just might have been a little bit of a case of bad diet, but in most cases are not. There's something seriously wrong. You need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the doctor or whatever. You need to get that shit checked out. Don't just drink the magic crystal alkaline water.
But it's water. Lately with the
You still see a
Apollonia
doctor and
titties, they were out in Prince, and he was like, you have to purify yourself no like any time. No. So that water, you know, that's special water.
There are some instances where, yes, your diet was introducing something into your body and it was causing problems and stuff. And then you got that out now and then you're doing better and stuff. But then sometimes that stuff comes back. I know. It's happened to me.
Yeah,
I did. I changed my diet and everything, and that's what helped me to get better. That wasn't the only thing. I was taking medication at the time that helped me to stay alive at the point in time and stuff. And then I changed my diet, and I got everything out of my system that was supposed to, you know, that was going through my thyroid that would cause my thyroid to act up and everything like that. And then I was good. But now it's not again. But then, of course, I eat like shit again. So maybe that's why. Maybe I should start eating a little bit healthier again, which maybe I'll do. But maybe I'll just take a pill every day. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I could eat a little bit healthier. But that might not work this time. You never know, because again, there's something wrong with my body. And eating healthy is not always the answer, and your body's not like, oh, you're eating healthy, so everything's great again. You know what I mean? Again, I could heal. My foot will heal if I'm eating cupcakes or if I'm eating an alkaline diet, or if I'm eating cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
But if I get you some of that pH water, though, I bet you it'll heal quicker.
I mean, I could just drink straight up water for the next fucking what's been almost 3 weeks now. So in the next 3 weeks or whatever, until it's fully healed up, just drink water the whole time during a broken foot, and it will heal up fine. That was probably better than all the other shit you put in your body and shit. You know what I mean? Water is really good for you. Stop drinking everything else and just drink water.
But drink alkaline pH water because it's expensive in a bottle, and it's in an expensive, cool-looking bottle.
Just make sure it's some filtered water or stuff like that, or if you're out where you got your own water well, coming up, and water like that and everything.
Yes,
houses was and awesome. Shit, then you're good. But you know, like again, city water, it's got all kinds of chemicals to keep it clean, but then you got all those chemicals in there that help keep it clean. And then the majority of the time it's going through fucking lead pipes at some point along its journey and stuff like that. And then most people's houses, depending on how old they are and shit, you know, pipes are no good and shit like that. So, you know, it's not the best water to be drinking and cooking with and stuff. But again, you could drink pond water. Just fucking drink pond water. You know, that's all she had to do. I mean, I guarantee if she had, she probably didn't have.
Well, no, she was drinking that water by the river. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, that would work. You know what I mean? She stopped drinking for a little while.
Right.
Stopped drinking the alcohol, and she was just drinking a lot of water and eating better, so her ulcers went away.
Yeah. Spudwife, I had all this jiggy juice ready to be shipped, but you know, it was hot here this summer. I just couldn't keep it sitting around, you know, urine and, you know. So, I mean, when you guys are ready, let me know.
It's fucking hot and wet this summer, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking wet.
I'm gonna pee on you. Trip, trip, trip.
A lot of fucking crazy weather here this
summer. Oh, man. Welcome to the Grift, folks. It just gets more elaborate. Who's next? Who's coming with me?
Fuck with that.
Fuck with it. Was that not hard to listen to? Like, it's like the most boring. There's just no.
Like I said, it's a little bit better than listening to him, but it's not that much better. It's not like, oh wow, this is fucking amazing compared to him. I'd if I've got to pick between the two, I'd rather listen to her stumble and fucking mumble through fucking whatever than listening to his fucking monotone fucking robot-y fucking voice and shit like that. And like just blah, 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 ha ha blah blah ha blah 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 blah
20 back and all this stuff. Yeah. All the stuff you missed in between was just.
But at least her, like when she's, you know what I mean. She was like, "Oh, and it was a beautiful hotel, and they had the pool down outside on the 9th floor and everything." But him in Brazil, and I'm at this really nice hotel now, and he looks around. He shows like a tree.
It's like this conference.
He shows a tree.
There's a lot of people here.
It's so wonderful here right now.
There's a lot of vendors here. 1, 2,
yeah,
2.5. Yeah, and all these people here. Look at the conference rooms.
I could see her. She would have been at least, oh, and look at the wonderful vendors and look at this beautiful artwork and stuff. She would have put a little bit more onto it, but it's not much better than him. I mean, the stories, her story is, I mean, his story at least has a little bit more details, a little more put together. Hers still scattered around and shit.
That leg, she was shaking like a ship. Tighten up.
You can tell it's got to be pulled together. They got to work out the bugs and stuff. They should have. I mean, in 25 years, you'd think you'd have a story down and ready to go for her.
She wasn't ready.
But they don't even have anything ready. They threw that. It's like they threw that together on the car ride there, dude. You would have think all this time, even though whatever, however long he's been doing it, whatever, they would have been coming. Come on,
hey, he doesn't have Leidner anymore. He doesn't have.
But they were like, hey, so and so probably couldn't show up, so we're gonna get you up on stage. All right, cool. What are we gonna talk about? Well, we'll go over it in the car ride there. It's a 3-hour car ride from where we are here to there. So
after the conference, he's like, hey, you go to the hotel room and think about your great first run. I'm gonna go hang out for a little while and do some things, and I'll be back later. Okay, I'll see you later. Go think about it. Good first run though. That was. Good one out the gate. We'll work on that, though. You're going to get better. You know, roll right off the tongue. You'll have it all down packed. Don't worry about it, babe. It was good. They fell for it. They believed it. They fell for
it. There you go. That's a good idea, Jonathan. That's a good idea. That's what me and the Queen are doing, you know. I'm doing this now, and I'm like, a long time from now, the Queen's going to come along. It's like, yep.
Yep. I better get together. You're going to be power couples.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. You got to be a power couple.
Be like Lucy and Ricky.
Just touch their hand. And if you don't get the feeling when you touch their hand, though, I don't know about you. I get that feeling from a lot. More than just the first hand touch.
Hey, Corey, I've got to remember that name.
Did you see how she shook his hand the first time? She was like, "Can I shake his
Hey.
hand?" Oh, what's her name again? I just got to feel that again. But she didn't say she felt it the second time she got his name.
That was just the very
Just
first
the very
time.
first time. That's it. She only felt that the first time.
That magic touch.
I don't think he's the one. No, I don't think he's the one.
You got the power.
At least not for her. It's not the one for her.
That's your house man to them folks.
Oh, well, next week we're gonna talk about your man.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll do a special show this weekend. Maybe we'll go live this weekend. We'll do a special show, and we'll talk about Jiggy's man.
Yeah, we definitely have some more shit to talk about.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. This one would be even much more fun because this is definitely up my fucking alley. Straight up my alley. Like, oh man. I don't know. We're sorry we had to make y'all sit through that, but
Yeah, if I say anything, it might look a little bad. We might get canceled. So we'll let him speak on the majority of the stuff. I'll, back him up on some of the things, but the majority we'll let him cover it. Because it sound better coming from him than
From an
me
African-American?
on this perspective. Even though I feel exactly the same way as he does in this situation, as everybody should in this situation, and most people will. But certain people, because if I was to say these things, it'd be hashtag cancel paranormal hood, hashtag cancel smoking and shit and everything, And so we don't want any of that. So, but yeah, we'll definitely
But sometimes black on black crime is necessary.
We'll do something Saturday night or Sunday night or something this weekend.
At least on a podcast. Not in the streets.
Do a Labor Day special. That's what holiday it is this weekend, right? Labor Day.
Yeah, I think it's Labor Day, Shane.
All right, everybody, we out of here. Peace. Be safe.
Thanks for hanging out. Y'all come back now, you hear?